Welcome to this specialized training module on information systems operations, focusing specifically on IT service level management, or SLM. In the modern enterprise, IT is not just a department of techies. It is a service organization that exists to support business objectives. Whether those services are provided internally or by third-party vendors, we need a mechanism to define expectations, measure performance, and ensure accountability. That mechanism is service level management. Over the next 8 slides, we will dismantle the components of a service level agreement, SLA, explore how to define meaningful metrics, and discuss the auditor's role in verifying that IT actually delivers what the business needs. Let's start with the fundamental concept. Service level management acts as the bridge between the IT department and the business units it supports. As defined in our study materials, SLM is composed of activities that confirm whether IS operations are providing adequate services to customers. This is achieved through continuous monitoring and periodic review. Think of IT as a service provider and the business unit as the customer. If the customer expects 24/7 availability but IT only staffs for 9 to 5, you have a gap. SLM closes that gap. It forces a conversation about needs versus costs. It transforms IT from a black box into a transparent partner where expectations are negotiated and documented. This diagram illustrates the central role of service level management. On the left, we have the business unit or customer, who defines their requirements. On the right, IT operations, the provider, delivers services. SLM sits in the middle. It translates business requirements into technical targets for IT, and conversely, it translates IT performance data into readable reports for the business. It is the translator and the negotiator. The primary tool of SLM is the Service Level Agreement, or SLA. An SLA is a formal document. If it's with an external vendor, it's a contract. If it's internal, it's a memorandum of understanding. Crucially, an SLA defines measurable commitments. We cannot simply say the system will be fast or reliable. We must specify that fast means a 2-second response time, and reliable means 99.9% uptime. It's also important to distinguish the SLA from the OLA, or Operational Level Agreement. While the SLA is user-facing, the OLA is internal to IT. It's how the network team promises the server team they will keep the pipes open so the server team can meet the SLA for the users. Remember, an SLA should be negotiated with the customer, not just published by IT. Here we see the hierarchy of agreements. At the top is the SLA, which is user-facing. It's the promise made to the business customer. Below that is the OLA, or Operational Level Agreement. This is internal IT. It connects the various IT support teams. The arrow shows that the OLA supports the SLA. You cannot meet a customer promise if your internal teams aren't aligned. What exactly goes into an SLA? It's not just about uptime. You need a comprehensive list. First, system availability. When is the system up? And when can you take it down for maintenance? Second, service definition. You must define exactly what is being provided so there is no scope creep. Third, security and data integrity. How often are backups taken? What is the encryption standard? A critical component for auditors is the right to audit. You must have the legal right to inspect an external vendor's controls. Finally, there must be remedies or penalties. If the vendor fails to meet the target, there must be a consequence, such as financial credits, to ensure accountability. This mind map breaks down the essential clauses of a robust SLA. We branch out into availability, covering uptime and maintenance. Performance covers the speed and volume. Security details the protection of data. Governance includes the vital right to audit and reporting rules. Finally, the financial branch defines costs and the penalties for non-performance. An SLA is useless without data. We need metrics. But not all metrics are the same. We generally categorize them into 3 types. Implementation metrics measure how much like the percentage of staff trained. Efficiency metrics measure how fast like the average time to resolve a help desk ticket. Effectiveness metrics measure how well did we actually fix the problem, or did the user have to call back 3 times. As an auditor, you should look for a balance of these. Also, beware of metric overload. It is better to have 5 to 10 meaningful metrics that are actually reviewed than 50 metrics that are ignored. This diagram shows the taxonomy of metrics. The parent class metric requires a purpose, data source, and frequency. From there, we derive 3 specific types. Efficiency focuses on speed, response time. Effectiveness focuses on quality, user satisfaction. Implementation focuses on coverage, install percentage. A complete SLM program uses all 3. Once metrics are defined, we must monitor them. We use continuous monitoring tools to track system health in real time. However, data alone isn't enough. We need exception reporting to flag when we miss a target. This data feeds into periodic reports, usually monthly dashboards sent to management. The most critical step is the stakeholder review. Sending a report that nobody reads, is a control failure. Management must review these reports to authorize corrective actions. As auditors, we also look at log management to verify that the pretty charts in the report actually match the raw data in the system logs. This sequence shows the reporting cycle. The IT systems generate raw data sent to the monitoring tool. The tool constantly checks against thresholds. If a threshold is breached, an alert is sent immediately. Regular monthly reports are generated for the service manager, who presents them to the business customer. The cycle closes with feedback and action items from the customer. SLM is vital when dealing with third parties. When you outsource, you can transfer the work, but you cannot transfer the accountability. If the vendor fails, your business fails. Therefore, SLAs must be embedded in the contract. You must independently verify their performance trust, but verify. Never rely solely on the vendor's own green dashboard. Ensure your contract includes a right to audit clause so you can send your own auditors if things look suspicious. Also, consider escrow agreements for software. If the vendor goes out of business, you need legal access to the source code to keep your systems running. This diagram maps the outsourcing relationship. The organization manages the vendor through a contract and SLA. While the vendor provides services and reports, the organization must apply independent monitoring and exercise the right to audit. The side branch shows the escrow agent holding the source code, which is released to the organization only in a specific trigger event like bankruptcy. To structure SLM effectively, most organizations use the ITIL framework, Information Technology Infrastructure Library. ITIL divides management into service support, day-to-day operations like the help desk, and service delivery, strategic planning. SLM falls under service delivery. It is the process that negotiates the service levels. Other service delivery processes include availability management, making sure servers are up, capacity management, making sure we have enough storage, and financial management. ITIL helps organize these disparate tasks into a cohesive system focused on customer value. This hierarchy places SLM within the ITIL universe. ITIL splits into service delivery, strategic, and service support, operational. Service level management is a pillar of service delivery, working alongside availability, capacity, and financial management. Service support handles the daily fires like incidents and changes. Finally, how do we audit this? As IS auditors, our objective is to verify that SLM is not just paperwork, but a working control. We check. Do SLAs exist for all critical services? Are they current or dated 5 years ago? We verify that the performance reports sent to management are accurate. We might recalculate the uptime ourselves. We look for gaps. Are we paying full price for a vendor who constantly misses targets? We also check customer satisfaction. Does the green dashboard match the red anger of the users? Ultimately, we ensure that the IT strategy and budget align with the promises made in the SLA. This logic flow guides the auditor. First, does the SLA exist? If no, finding. If yes, is it aligned with business needs? If no, finding. Is performance monitored? If no, finding. Are the reports accurate? If no, finding. Only if we pass all these gates do we conclude the control is effective.